Hey, I have two list reviews for you today, and the first one is from Jakub in Poland, I believe it is, who is struggling to make his British Airborne work in bold action. And I understand that because it's not every army and every um, like, like part of an army, like every build that you can build with every nation. So sometimes you just end up with something that doesn't work. But he's going to the tournament this weekend, so he really needs some quick advice. If anyone of you have any good advice, write in the comments and give him all you can. So, Jakub, this is the list that he is bringing for this weekend's tournament. 14 order dice, 1100 points. I think 14 at 1100 is a little low. That's one of the places where you might want to start working a little bit going forward. Second lieutenant with an infantry model, and this is a British air landing platoon. Is that a theatre platoon? If you're going into theatre platoons, there are certain theatre selectors that are just way better than others. The British air landing platoon is not one of them. So if you're struggling to make this work, that may be because your local meta is running theatre selectors and not generic reinforced selectors. That might be a thing. Because the first thing I notice is that you're paying extra points for a lieutenant, right? You're buying him regular. If you can get away with it, I don't know this British air landing platoon at all, but if you can, because I'm not playing it because it's not competitive, then buy him inexperienced single man. Cut it down. You can get half the price. You can get your lieutenant, which means you have more points for something that actually kills stuff. This lieutenant is not going to help you. Air landing rifle sections, 8-man with rifles, they're veterans. Yeah, this is a waste of points. That is one of the problems here. If you're running riflemen here, which you can, then you should think of them as a skirmish unit, something that will move out, shoot a little bit. It won't cause massive casualties, and you can't use it to assault with. Something that where you can just move a little bit and shoot, you can get that for 60, 70 points, and you're paying 104. At 60, 70 points, you can get 6 or 7 regulars, which has the same damage output as your veteran 104 point unit. So you are paying extra points for something that does not give you a lot of extra capability. That is one of the problems here. And this is now for 3 units that I'm seeing you do this. The free artillery observer, always good, great. Use that. Use it to bombard your enemy once you want to move forward, so that he can't retaliate. That's great. Having an extra man makes him a little bit more useful and less likely to just get outright killed. So perfect. More and ending sections. Again, you're paying way too many points for these. Way too many. They're not even stubborn or has tough fighter or anything. They're really not special in any respect. They're just veteran rifles. The damage output is low on these units and the cost is high. Double medium mortars, love these. That is one of the reasons why this platoon actually might work, because these have a high damage output. Very high damage output. The infantry does not. So you're going to have to lean into your bombardment here with your mortars and with your artillery spotter, artillery observer. Double sniper, also good. They don't need to be veteran. If you can buy them regular, do that. Veteran is just extra points. You're paying extra points on all of this. Rapid fire is good, but would be just as good on, and you're not actually benefiting because you're getting 1 extra shot per 3-man, but you had 8-man units, so you have 2 men extra that doesn't get the extra shot. So either buy them 9 men, which you shouldn't, or 6 men, better. 6-pounder and 17-pounder. No, nope, 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 nope. I'm sorry, Jakub. I think this is not a problem with the airborne this is a problem with your list building. You're buying veteran anti-tank guns. I know that the meta in Poland is different from what I'm used to, but you cannot tell me that a 17-pounder veteran, 168 points, ever make back the points that you're investing in this. It is overcosted, insanely overcosted. You have a single shot and you're just waiting on a tank to drive in front of you because you can't move. Which the tank will, if the player is good standing opposed, they will never drive in front of that. The 6-pounder, yeah, okay, maybe, but it's 90 points for a 5+. You can get a 5+ in a Panzerfaust. That's 5 points. Is it? Yeah. So for 5 points, you can get the same effect that your 6-pounder gets for 90 points. These are not worth it. You should never, ever, ever bring anti-tank guns. The one caveat for that is that you may be in a meta where heavy tanks are a thing, but I would still not bring them. I would way more look into getting myself a flamethrower team in a Jeep, because that is just as dangerous and can kill any heavy tank just on the morale. And then get yourself a tank hunter instead, something mobile. This is immobile. It's just going to sit there. The enemy is not going to drive in front of you. You are losing using these units. And what is worse, what is actually worse is if the enemy has mortars, the mortars will start zeroing in on these guys and you can't move them. They're fixed. They're not going to get away. The mortar is going to hit you and you're going to die without having fired a single shot. So yes, the problem is the list building. It's not the actual list. It's not the airborne. It's the list build here. Because look at this. Airborne recce jeeps. These are perfect. Brilliant. Brilliant little vehicles. You don't need to buy them veteran at all. Get them regular. 45 points. Again, you're spending way too many points on veterans. So unless you have to buy everything veteran, which I don't think you do because you're getting regular mortars, why are you spending the points here? The selector isn't that great. The choices in it isn't great either. So that is the main worry, and you're spending way too many points. I'm really sorry, Jakub, if I've ruined your weekend. So, how does he even play this during this weekend? I'm actually not sure. You're going to have to be really clever about where you put your anti-tank guns. They are going to have line of sight, and they're going to have to block the central area of the table. You need a diagonal across the table where you can put the 17-pounder, preferably in some hard cover. And then you have to have your snipers protecting it. So a sniper right next to each of these anti-tank guns. Because otherwise the enemy is going to zero in and kill your anti-tank guns. So that's the first thing. The snipers need to team up with your anti-tank guns. The mortars then need to do your killing for you, which is a bad place to start. Along with the airborne recce jeeps, because those 4 units are the only units that have actual kill power in this list. So they are going to do a lot of work. The mortars need to find enemy targets that are fixed, so enemy anti-tank guns or enemy howitzers, and start zeroing in on them. Preferably 2-on-1, and just hit it, kill it, move on. The airborne recce jeeps need to move up along the flanks. You can even outflank them and bring them into the enemy's rear. That may be good. As for your infantry, they need to be on ambush, waiting in your backline, and you need to hope and pray that whatever you're pouring into that artillery bombardment forces the enemy to move forward into your anti-tank guns. because that's the only way this is going to work. I'm sorry, that was not very optimistic. Not every list is good. Right. The second list I have is from Ryan. And it is I hope you can see this. It's not very clear because Ryan just sent me an image on Messenger, which it's okay, but we get this, right? So Ryan has been building a 13 order dice German reinforced platoon. It's 2 points over. I think that is because something is miscosted or something. Let's check if we can see why it's 2 points over. So a Waffen-SS lieutenant, inexperienced. So you need a Waffen-SS unit somewhere. Schützen with light machine guns. If Schützen are allowed in your local meta, because they are not a generic reinforced platoon unit, so they need to be allowed. It doesn't say in Western Desert. It doesn't say on the Schützen that they are usable as a generic reinforced platoon infantry choice. So typically they're not allowed. Easy Army has them, but so you need to check with your TO that they are allowed. If you can take them, yeah, brilliant. They're really good. SS Pioneer Squad, also really good. Veteran, it's very expensive though. For a 7-man unit, that is really good. They're fanatics, so they'll stay for quite a long while, but you're overpaying on this unit. And you're lacking the Waffen-SS unit, so you can't take the Waffen-SS lieutenant. So 2 illegal actions in this one platoon so far. German LMG team, love the German LMG team. Inexperienced medium mortar, also very, very good. Flamethrower team, brilliant. Medium howitzer, regular, yep. Might even buy a spotter for that. Could be okay. A Puma. The Puma is okay, but there are better choices. It's an anti-tank. It's a tank hunter. But for 160 points, I think you could do better with a Panzer III. But you're already taking the Polizei tank, so yeah, well. And a truck and a Kubelwagen. The truck, of course, being for the engineers, and the Kubelwagen for the flamethrower team. One thing I might want to change is get yourself a cheaper armored car. The 250/9 is cheaper, and you can get yourself a instead of a medium howitzer, get yourself a Nebelwerfer. Also, you're saving points there, so you can spend more points on your infantry, which you're going to need to, because at least one of them needs to be a Waffen-SS unit. So, yeah, 2 lists today that I was not a massive fan of. I'm sorry to both of you if and that's it. I don't check the lists, and I'm not going to try and say something positive if I only have negative things to say. So that was a negative version of me today. I'm sorry about that. I hope to see everyone next time, and right now I'm pretty busy. You've possibly noticed that sending out a lot of videos about the WTC, because I am going in next weekend. So it's all coming to a head right now, and I hope to do a lot of videos about that once I get there. So yeah, right. That was it for me today. I will see you next time. Cheers.